San Diego is a beautiful place, don't you think? The sweet and salty aroma of the Pacific Ocean driving on a cool breeze as the warmth of the sun caresses your skin is a luxurious experience you can only enjoy on the Californian coast. However, San Diego has its share of dark dealings. The most well-known by far is the Whaley House. The list of documented hauntings is growing every day. However, it's not the biggest danger here. It started a few months ago on a chilly, overcast night. My dog escaped from the backyard again, and I went out to search for her. I walked along the sidewalk calling her name in an attempt to get her to return. "Lindsay, come here," I yelled, and then gave her an ear-piercing whistle. I didn't care whether or not I was disturbing neighbors. My priorities dictated my pet was more important than whether or not someone got 39, rather 40 winks of sleep. Why do I say 40 winks anyways, I thought. Does it have to do with rapid eye movement? My train of thought rambled along for a good 2 minutes before I was interrupted by the yelp of my dog, followed by a faint, distant, and constant whine. My heart skipped a beat and my stomach dropped. No. My breath came in short bursts as I ran in the direction I came from, the public playground. I could only pray and hope that Lindsay wasn't hurt, or worse. I slammed open the chain link fence, then suddenly the whining stopped. There wasn't a sound in the air except for the chirp of crickets and the rustle of the trees. My eyes darted from place to place, looking for any sign of my dog. I stumbled around, my heart rate the highest it has been in years, and tears welling in my eyes. I looked under benches and bushes. I checked everywhere for at least an hour before I finally gave up. I raised my head and stared into the sky, tears running down my cheeks, my throat burning, and my trust in God shaken. I turned back towards home with the hung head and heavy heart. I was about to leave the playground when I saw a band of purple dangling from the lock on the gate. For the second time that night, my heart skipped a beat. It was my dog's collar. Only it was frayed far more than it had the last time I saw her. I picked it up and glanced to my left towards the town, then to the right towards the playground, and surveyed the area for one last time. I can't believe I almost didn't notice it. I was starting to look away when something in my brain clicked. I slowly, anxiously looked back. There was a figure standing on the other side of the playground. Despite the yellow street lamps illuminating us, its skin was as dark as night. It must have been at least 7 feet tall, if not bigger. Its chest was wide and its lower abdomen tapered down to nothing. It had no legs. The arms narrowed down to almost non-existing wrists. It had large hands with no spreadly fingers. It was bald, it seemed, and it had a sharp chin. Its eyes, oh God, its eyes, were nothing more than white specks in obsidian caverns that be called sockets. I stared at it for a few seconds. I looked tentatively, stepped away, ready to run if need arose. I didn't think it could look any more terrifying. Then I was wrong. It grinned, exposing small, pointy yellow teeth. A feeling of absolute dread shot through me, and my hair stood up on end. I dropped Lindsay's collar. I didn't need any more incentive than that. I turned and ran as fast as my legs could carry me, making sure not to look back. It seemed like ages before I finally reached my house. I burst through the door and slammed it shut behind me. I locked it, bolted upstairs into my room, and collapsed on my bed. I sobbed. I sobbed for my dog. I sobbed for me. I sobbed for anyone that encountered that thing. I sobbed until I fell asleep. I woke up the next morning around noon, or next day around noon. I felt absolutely exhausted. My legs and my feet ached, something fierce. I got up from bed and I went to the bathroom. Looking in the mirror, I saw my eyes were red and puffy. I had almost forgotten why. I splashed some cold water on my face and dried it off with a towel. I went downstairs to the kitchen for a bite to eat. After eating a hearty meal of biscuits and gravy, I went to my computer. I asked on every forum I knew and searching at every site that had to do with myth, legends, and the supernatural. I could not find a single report or article of any kind about anything that even remotely resembled what I saw last night. I was racking my brain for any other way I could go about this when I heard tapping and jiggling sounds coming from my front door. My curiosity got the best of me. I went and opened it. No one was there. I looked up and down the street, trying to see anyone or anything suspicious. Nothing caught my eye until I looked down to see if my mail was there. There, on the ground, was my dog's collar. It was shredded to bits.